We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't.
Yeah. Are we winning, guys? Are we winning?
ये epic है ना?
This guy has been on a roll. पता नहीं क्या कर रहे हैं. बोला तो था कि बहुत कुछ होगा, but we are seeing the opposite happen. The S&P 500 देख लो, Bitcoin देख लो, all of them have been tanking.
But I think it's winning only.
Shitcoins versus Bitcoin, bro.
Sorry?
Look at all the shitcoins versus Bitcoin.
Oh yeah. That's the only hope. It literally is draining the swamp, like you just said.
ETH BTC is glorious.
Yeah, that is.
Finally, है ना? Finally.
Yeah. पिछले एक हफ्ते एक दिन से there has been a lot of choppy movement, and this is expected. There's been a lot of prediction going on as well. कि नहीं, this is that's all the positions are very narrow and tight. Go back to your क्या बोलते हैं? We'll
Can
go
you
back
also pull up the ETH BTC chart?
Yeah, I don't have the latest one. I will go.
I will try.
I will try. Yeah. So till then, वही चल रहा है. So in the last few days and weeks, Trump has gone aggressive on tariffs as usual, and he's been deporting people from their universities left, right, center, whoever was siding with Palestine. So that's two, and his policies have been affecting all of other countries. They've been doing retaliatory tariffs. India का ऐसा scene है कि it hasn't come to a conclusion yet in terms of tariffs. They will reach that conclusion August, September. So there's time for us to figure out what's happening and how much can we allow US to infiltrate the Indian markets. Now, coming to ETH BTC chart, let me just add this thing. Oh, okay.
It's visible? Yes.
Yeah,
So ये तो पूरा it's near 2021.
Beautiful.
वो उस पे, yeah.
Sachin,
there is no volatility.
Glorious. Absolutely glorious. But where is it at? 2292? Okay.
And I think ना मुझे last year 1.5 year ago I met the friend of friend and like उसके like मैं उसको direct नहीं जानता था, mutual friend था. So he said कि next bull run में Ethereum का dominance will overtake the Bitcoin dominance, है ना? तो मैं बोला bet लगाना है, बोला हाँ चलो bet लगाते हैं. तो हमने 10,000 sets का bet लगाया था. मैं बोला बिटकॉइन में बैठ, तो हाँ ठीक है, बोला मुझे कोई दिक्कत नहीं है बिकॉज इट विल बी यूज वर्थलेस, है ना. सो अब ये है कि ना, सो आई टोल्ड माय फ्रेंड कि अब उसको बोलो, तो लाइक ही सेड कि ही इज नॉट पिकिंग अप हिज कॉल, है ना. और उसने उसके भी उसने उसके भी बोला कि यार उसने मेरे भी काफी क्रिप्टो अल्ट कॉइंस इन्वेस्ट करा के वो भाग गया है वो. सो ही वाज अ स्कैमर.
Yeah.
One interesting chart मैं दिखाना चाहता हूँ. I think हर बार we show it. Gold.
Gold.
Sorry, gold BTC.
This week, gold has been ripping, and it has reached all-time highs this week.
चलो वही देखते हैं.
It's crossed $3,000 per ounce.
Yeah.
Now it's back to 2984, but yeah, it had touched. Futures में तो it had exceeded easily.
एक मिनट. Yes, this is ना all-time high. Is it okay? $2,984.
So
it's what's it at in Indian rates? How much is 1 pound? It's at like 70,000 or something, no?
10 gram, no? 1 tola, I think.
8 grams.
8 grams. In India, in Gujarat, we measure in 10 grams. So in 10 gram in tola, it is around 88,000 because but it's near all-time high only, right? It's only near all-time high. Let me pull up XAU INR.
No, I think INR. It's XAU is a different type of measuring it.
So
Good
yeah, it's
best.
24 carat. It's a 24 carat. So we measure 22 carat or maybe.
No, I think it's XAU BTC, right?
For BTC,
Oh,
for
okay, this is
BTC, I
the.
want to pull up this thing. For BTC, I want to pull up this thing. See,
Oh,
है ना? So in gold terms, Bitcoin has not given the breakout yet, right? In gold terms,
hmm,
there is no breakout. Hmm.
right.
There's a lot of chatter happening. We'll get to that. There is this person called Josh. Have you heard of Josh? He's
Yes.
been all the rage in the Bitcoin Twitter now. All
Hmm.
the autistic people on Bitcoin Twitter have been, हर जगह उनका
Hmm.
नाम फैला दिया है.
Hmm.
बोलते हैं कि नहीं नहीं नहीं, he's so accurately predict किया है. So he
He has been
actually,
precise. He has
yeah.
been precise, but I don't think he will be
No,
precise now.
I'm sure it was a fluke. It was one in a whatever million of जो भी
No,
है.
no, Nihal. It was pure mathematics and neurology thing.
I don't know. It's hard for me to believe. I'm sure
Yeah,
you can say that, but
yeah.
84,000 close hoga on March
See,
14th.
on 14 March there is a वो था the total lunar eclipse. And
Okay,
if you plot so many lunar eclipse, so this is the one thing I know, है ना? I don't know in details, but if you plot all
right.
the eclipse na, you will see the major like reversal over there.
I remember this from the last cycle. Don't fall for this. This is going. It's not a good idea to
Definitely,
yeah.
yeah. It's not like that easy. Like like it's super hard. Like he must be knowing some exact thing. Like we can predict it, but there are so many things involved. But
Very
it's very
Exactly.
it's doable.
It's millions of people buying and selling. So okay, yeah, you might look back and find some patterns, but you can't use those patterns to predict what's gonna happen in the future, no?
Definitely not older patterns, but yeah, using astronomical positions of the planets. There have been so much influences, and it's been
Yeah,
proven. It's been
it's a
proven. We'll
trend,
talk
no? It's a
about that
trend
later.
among.
We need
Okay,
a
okay.
separate episode for that. Bhavik
Yeah,
is specialized in it. He's been reading books and he follows this
yeah,
very
yeah. So
Oh
religiously.
my
मैं जब
God.
देखा, yeah, when I see like I was mind blown कि like how it is happening. Then
Yeah.
yeah, there was one William D. Gann, a scientist, a trader in 1920. So
Hmm.
he used to plot the chart
Hmm.
of any index, and while sitting offline in any room, like if the market is trading for 6 hours, 9 to 3, he will he will like he will plot the chart, and it will like it had 90% ups and downs. Like he predicted the time and price. So he
Yeah.
knew this thing, and he said he learned this thing from Egypt and India. So he came to some sadhu or somewhere in Rajasthan or in 1920s. So there is one biography, and so yeah,
Wow.
there is like मुझे भी नहीं पता how does it work, but yeah, I know only 0.001%, 0.001%, but there is something mysterious.
Beautiful. Chalo, let's come back
Yeah.
to Trump and his tariff attack. So basically, tariffs on goods तो already चल रहा है, but there is also a fear among the markets, especially in the EU and the East markets, कि tariff on money also will be on the charts, and it might happen anytime in the near future. So this is not completely impossible uh, by the way things are shaping up. हो सकता है. What do you guys think about this?
Sachin,
Tariffs on
I
money.
don't know.
Is
I mean,
that
tariffs on money is essentially capital controls, right?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, kind of. Yeah,
I mean,
yes.
Yeah, I want to hear more. Yeah, I want to know more. थोड़ा बहुत, if you can explain.
um, I don't exactly know how they are going to do it, but I think capital controls would essentially mean that you can't uh, buy assets which are abroad, something like that. I'm not exactly sure how it would work.
Yeah, basically not letting the money flow outside the country. And even if you let the
Oh,
money flow, there'll be extra charges and taxes. What India does to a certain extent as well with its LRS scheme.
okay.
Because basically, if you have to invest in something outside India, you have to
Mhm.
go through that. You have to declare, and it comes under the purview of uh, LRS, FEMA, and all that jazz. Seeing key.
And it also applies to you not being able to hold foreign assets, right?
Hmm. Yeah,
So,
Your money can't exit the country.
yeah. But thankfully, we are not at that stage yet. But let's
so
see. Hmm.
no, so when we if we invest through that IND money or vested, so it is all regulated, right?
Yeah,
All
yeah.
it's all
That's
taken care of.
yeah, yeah. That is not
Okay.
an issue. I'm not talking about the existing ones. I'm talking about the future prospects ki kaisa ho sakta hai. I'm talking from the US lens. When you talk about imposing tariffs on money, I think that's what
Mhm.
it means. Okay, make in America, keep everything in America, no importing goods, just make your own stuff and sell it. So that's what he has in his agenda. Let's see how that pans out in the next few
I
weeks.
don't know. I kind of have a feeling that capital controls usually follow when there are when there is excess inflation and I so like based on what I know, capital controls is like the end game or something of whatever retarded intervention that the government has undertaken previously, like something like price controls or tariffs or
Yeah.
excess taxes or whatever. So whatever you can do in your own country is being curtailed. So you look to go to other countries to do that. So in order to prevent that, they kind of like do more intervention in order to keep you in. So that's what I understand as capital controls. Because generally, if you go into too much detail about what exactly the instruments that they're using, they might
Hmm.
use some or the other buzzword to confuse you. If you just like keep it simple and say, okay, they're doing one intervention, which is killing off productivity in what you can do in your own country, and you're going outside to look for other productive and more worthwhile endeavors abroad. So they're trying to stop you from doing that. So I
Yeah.
guess that's what the US is trying to do now.
Could be. Who
Hmm.
knows? The guy's lost his marbles, anyways.
इसमें ऐसे
Yeah,
लिखा
I
है.
think China is doing that as well, right? The Chinese government is doing that as well with their own investors and
Hmm.
companies
I
and stuff.
wasn't aware about that. Okay.
I'm not sure exactly what type of capital controls here, but capital controls are being like brought in. I think that since people are because of Chinese economy slowdown,
Hmm.
and also people are like looking to diversify away from China or something, and they don't want to get stuff from China. So Chinese companies are setting up shop in Vietnam or something and exporting their stuff from Vietnam.
Wow.
So capital control is bullish for Bitcoin. Can we think of it like that or no?
I don't know. I'm not like, can you consider Bitcoin a foreign asset? Because it's not
उसमें
based
लिखा है
out
ना
of.
निहाल, can you open the tweet? Roxom. So,
एक minute. Uh, here you go. I
rocket
mean,
fuel
it's
for
not.
Bitcoin. Yes, he has mentioned something like that. देखो, open that
Yeah.
tariff वाला tab again. Yeah, tariff on money is equal to rocket fuel for Bitcoin. What
It
does
could
it
be in the
mean?
long run. I mean, in the
Mm-hmm.
long run, everything is good for Bitcoin. Like when
Mm-hmm.
you look at it, coming to another point altogether, which is very relevant, and this has been
Mm-hmm.
happening, and we see this happening on play out. Joe Consorti, who has been Thea में काम करते हैं. Thea is one of the custody services. So he had given कुछ महीने पहले कि Bitcoin is heavily correlated to global M2. Global M2 is the money supply which is in the circulation in the world. Now, Bitcoin is closely tracking that and it is off by 7 to 10 weeks. So, since it contracted over the last few months, That's why we're seeing the price dump as well, is according to what the chart says. But we don't know if it's actually itna hi accurate follow karta hai to the T. Of course not. Or it can be maneuvered as well with other, pump and dump stuff through, presidential statements and stuff. But yeah, there is a proper direct correlation with global M2. And since it's been increasing, global M2 supply, since December onwards, अभी Bitcoin का भी आपको देखने को मिलेगा the price in a few months increase according to this chart.
Just global M2 hit all-time high, na? Just
Yeah.
recently, maybe कल परसों.
Yeah. So
Last year, right? It looks like last year it hit an all-time high. Or is this an old chart?
Just
this is
yesterday.
fairly new. Yesterday, yeah, day before
Just
yesterday.
yesterday it's crossed the
14.
all-time high global M2 money supply.
So that's what I mean. He does mention the developments which are happening across the world, they are something which are not discussed enough or not priced in enough, because a country establishing jaisa bhi ho, a strategic Bitcoin reserve or strategic stolen Bitcoin reserve, uh, it's the same, and people are not talking enough about it. And that is, a lot of people are not aware. A lot of governments, maybe, in the hush hush of things, they are wrapping this up and bolne ki kya kar sakte hain, or they might be directly accumulating from the miners. That's why you don't see the supply affecting much on the exchange side of things. And the OTC desks, as Bhavik knows, are very, क्या बोलते हैं, very popular among these countries and huge corporations and stuff. तो ये लंबा चलेगा, but कितना लंबा चलेगा we don't know. Maybe 6 months, 7 months. After that, they have to come on exchanges. People have to buy through exchanges. You cannot do paper Bitcoin forever. क्या हुआ?
Paper Bitcoin. Let's can we discuss about paper Bitcoin for 5-10 minutes?
Yeah, for sure. This, I think, comes at the right point. यहाँ पे अगर आप देखोगे, like we just discovered, I mean, we covered in a few minutes ago, spot price of gold has officially crossed 3,000 per ounce, $3,000 per ounce, first time in the history. This is because abhi paper Bitcoin and paper gold का ज़माना कम होता जा रहा है. There's a lot of uncertainty in the world, and that's why you see people shifting and gravitating towards the real thing. And gold is the hardest asset till Bitcoin came along, and that's why people believe in it, and they want to store their wealth in it so that it doesn't evaporate. And that's where the concept of paper Bitcoin, which has been happening over the years, comes in. But then you had to share something.
I have one question. थोड़ा मुझे इसमें I also have my opinion on that. कि see these governments have been very successful in suppressing gold price, right? Manipulate करते हैं paper gold ETF करके, because gold is very hard to audit, है ना? So is it possible कि when if Bitcoin becomes big, if power shifts from centralization to the decentralization, more in the hands of the individual, so if Bitcoin will pump, so is it possible that Bitcoin can reprice the dollar gold? Can Bitcoin reprice the gold? What's your opinion on that? Because they won't be able to manipulate the gold price, right? Their power will decrease.
Sachin,
Because
your thoughts?
I don't know. I'm not really sure.
they
I
are
mean,
using the
firstly,
dollar
I'm
to
not really sure if they're necessarily manipulating the gold price. I mean, manipulate as in what sense are you talking about? Like,
yeah, I think there is, it's a very broad word. So one thing is they issue paper gold, you know. So we government of, so when we invest in paper gold, like gold bond, they don't invest our money in buying gold, right? So the price, it doesn't reflect the price. एक तो ये है. And other is ki fiat currency has been very competitive in the क्या बोलते हैं, sellable part, not as a store of value but as a medium of exchange. So gold का use has been decreasing in medium of exchange over the past like maybe 200 years. So पेपर ETF and paper gold is the big thing जिससे वो करते हैं. So yeah, जब when they priced gold with dollars, it was like $20 per ounce something, है ना. So like what did they do कि they took all the money supply and divided it with the total gold supply. So अगर if they do it now, so gold price will be around $500,000 per ounce instead of $3,000. So if we take all the money supply of the dollar and divide it with the total gold,
अच्छा.
so gold is not coping up. ये लॉरेंस लेपार्ड ने एक बार बताया था just last year के पॉडकास्ट में. So gold is not has been picking up with the like price against dollar. So ये like जब ये हुआ gold का problem, Fort Knox and all in UK में भी treasury, gold treasury, so देखो gold spike मारा. Whenever like some run happens, the underlying asset will shoot. So
Oh, audit ka, it's gone. Like nobody's talking about Fort Knox audit anymore. It's gone.
jellyfish.
Epstein files, nothing. Gold, the Fort Knox audit, nothing. And like Sachin and I were discussing, the government is expanding more instead of contracting. So
Yeah.
US.
No, again, I
US.
think as long as you have a fiat money system, I don't think that any government is going to cut itself in size. I don't think so. I think that's what happens with that's what's happening with Milley as well. I think that's what happened with Margaret Thatcher, Ronald Reagan, Narendra Modi, Vajpayee, Manmohan Singh, all the people who claim to be like, more
Minimum
free
government.
in the economic policy sense. I don't think any of these people have been able to reduce the size of the government. I think they've reduced it in one aspect and they've increased it in other aspect. Tax cuts somewhere and then introduce new form of taxes elsewhere.
Even
And
higher.
yeah, probably. So net, either the government is the same size or it's increasing in size. And if you see the balance sheet of the government, and all you need to do is look at that. Like if you follow the budget every single year of each of these governments, you'll see that the balance sheet of their balance sheets are increasing, the money supply is increasing. So the government size is essentially every single year it's increasing over and over, and they use these different set of mechanics like GDP calculation, debt to GDP, and what percentage of GDP is your deficit. All these things they kind of use in order to justify all this increase in size. And there's no I don't think anyone can be a libertarian president or anyone can be a small government president or like not. I don't think it exists in the fiat money system.
No president is a libertarian president. You know?
I get I get how you mean that. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
But
no president.
yeah. Fiat money system will not allow it. I mean, it is not even like criticizing the system of government. I'm not criticizing democracies or uh, I'm not for authoritarian rule or like some dictatorship or whatever. Any system of government that you take, be it a monarchy or whatever, uh, as long as fiat money exists and there's central banking and money and credit are centrally planned, you're gonna have the same outcome. A few people are gonna benefit, and the rest of the people are going to be stuck in with their inflated toilet paper as money. And you're gonna have some people benefit at the cost of others because of the cantillon effect, right? You can't. Money will enter the economy at one place, and those people will stand to benefit from the others because inflation will be different for different people, and you there's no chance that we have a proper free world, whatever you call it, as long as fiat money exists. And I think I'm not at all that optimistic about what Trump is going to do for the next 4 years. Even if he's going to bring in like favorable policies for Bitcoin, if you're taking Trump overall, like probably more good for Bitcoin than others, but like overall, I don't know.
But what is
That's just,
the question here is what is favorable, right? Like who
that's just he
decides
wants to pump his own
favorable?
bags.
Oh, okay,
Wo-
like that.
W
Yeah, that's a good.
WLFI, his own. I mean, you see these people encroaching. They were. I mean, it's a rumor again, but there were talks that the Trump administration is buying a stake in Binance US. But
Yeah.
again, CZ came out and dismissed the whole intention and idea behind
Of
it
course he
and
did.
said it was bogus. Sorry?
Yeah, of course he did. Of course he dismissed it. How can he admit it?
Yeah. And then you say Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, he's doing his own part in pushing the agenda. So everyone's
Didn't their
self-serving.
Treasury Secretary come out and openly admit that stable coins would be a good way to
Hmm.
maintain dollars dominance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying that now. And which is absolutely
Yes.
true. People should stop using USDT, in my opinion, because
No,
it's
I mean,
it's 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 worse than the actual dollar, the
ideally
paper.
they do. Ideally they do. I mean, it's up to them. But
It's
I'm very
incentive, no? Like
disappointed in seeing Bitcoiners promoting stable coins like it's some
Yeah.
freedom money or whatever.
Why not?
It's just so
Yeah.
funny.
who did that? Freedom Money.
No, not taking names.
Okay, like some prominent Bitcoiners.
Yeah, the,
Good,
I don't know if
good following
know
with
how
good
many
followings.
people are still doing it. It's been like super long since I properly hung out at Bitcoin Twitter. I've been away from it for a few months now.
Nice.
Well, lot of people in the Bitcoin community seem to think that Tether is this good thing that like should be promoted alongside Bitcoin. Like, what are you like? Where are they? Where are their heads? I have no idea.
Incentives are aligned with those guys.
Yeah.
A
They're
lot of
more
value.
they're more American patriots than Bitcoiners, I suppose.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
for sure.
yes, 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 yes,
It,
yes. Yeah, as
it's
a
all
yeah,
bringing Bitcoin is for everyone. Bitcoin is for the masses. ये सब बोलने का बस ढकोसला है. They don't give a damn about all of those things.
yeah.
They're just
They, they
focusing
they
on
all are turning American, no?
yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody mentioned कि it was only for Americas. ये global South का जो पूरा यहाँ पे बचा हुआ है दुनिया में, nobody talks about that. It's like नहीं,
They're all bitten by
Africa.
the populist bug, I think. Whenever you have a populist leader and that leader is favoring your industry narrative wise, and everything else that he says, I think kind of bites you and you kind of get into that. I think that's what's happening because I see Bitcoiners being in favor of tariffs. I see them being in favor of jailing people for some people were actually in favor of jailing Roger Ver. Like what? Yeah, okay, cool. He's a dumbass. But that what happened to principles or whatever? No,
हाँ यार, they are
nothing happened.
saying कि like he was preaching Bitcoin Cash, so he should be in jail. Bitcoiners कह रहे हैं क्या like how
Where's the
nonsense.
consistency?
हाँ,
Freedom, Bitcoin
yeah,
for freedom, they'll say, and they'll all, like
yeah,
embrace tariffs and like
हाँ,
all these things. And also, it's their country, so their politics. But you know, I'm only like calling out the
yes.
inconsistencies. I'm not like I can we can only talk about our politics though.
Hmm. So okay, good.
Cool.
Let's attack on shit Bitcoiners. हाँ यार
Let's
करना चाहिए साला.
हाँ चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं.
Hmm.
We focus on Russia using
Yeah,
cryptocurrency for oil trade with India and China to beat
yeah.
sanctions, which is imposed by West again. Now, यहाँ पे it's according to 4 sources with direct knowledge of the matter, so we don't know the credibility of this information, but
Source,
we
I made it up.
we we know that it is highly likely it's possible
Hmm.
because US के sanction खत्म नहीं होते रशिया पे and India and China need to breathe, so they will opt for some sort of mechanism where they can trade and they can see. But there are a lot of people who are still living under the rock, and they're telling, okay, no, how can India do this? How can China do this? They cannot, they cannot trade with Russia with cryptocurrencies. It's not possible. There is no proof.
Are they
So,
Indians?
yeah. So my statement to that is, my counter to that is, no country will openly announce that they are trading with another country in Bitcoin or any, say, USDT as well. And by the time they do, the price would have shot up or it would have been mainstream because there's no competitive edge for them to do that. So, say if we keep waiting for a stamp of approval, we will always be few months or few years behind the actual news or whatever's
Hmm.
happening on ground. So it's
Hmm.
always good to do your own digging and
Hmm.
thorough research before believing anyone,
Hmm.
even us
Hmm.
for that matter. Please go read uh,
Hmm.
and then educate yourself, is what I'd say.
Yeah.
No,
And even
I
they,
think you can just go on, Bhavik.
no, no, please.
No, I think you can just look at the incentives for them to do it. If there are so many sanctions that's happening, so they need to look for other ways of transferring value, right? So Bitcoin's there, and I think we also need to keep in mind that just because they're doing it doesn't mean that China and India are suddenly going to start looking favorably on Bitcoin.
For
It's
sure,
like
100%.
it's always been in India and I think in China as well, it's always been different rules for government and different rules for the people.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
as long as we separate those two and look at everything from that lens, it'll be clear what will happen.
Hmm.
बताइए भाविक, आप कुछ बोल रहे थे.
हाँ, yeah, so यही था कि you said there is no any competitive edge for nations to announce this, है ना? So even competitive edge तो नहीं है, but even they have a, क्या बोलते हैं, it will create a problem if they announce, है ना? They can attract the sanctions. So why will they announce? It's even
True.
negative, है ना?
Yeah.
Price भी bump हो जाएगा. They won't be able to buy. They won't be able to hold like stake so much sets.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And
you have the IMF snooping around to see if someone is doing something that goes against them.
true.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, we have Coinbase entering India finally. When this will happen, we don't know, but they are extremely, like, heavily compliant now. Last time's shenanigans which they pulled off will not work. Last time उन्होंने बिन एक दिन में start किया था, and the next, in within a week they shut shop and they left because they had announced that you can buy any crypto with UPI, and they did that, and the next day NPCI से उनको notice आया and फिर बोले कि नहीं, how can you do this, please leave. So they left, and now they have agreed for FIU compliance and all the other list of compliance from the Indian team, and now they're back. And this is a, I don't know, there'll be competition finally in terms of cryptocurrency exchanges, but on the other hand, it's a casino, and
Hmm.
you'll see Coinbase shilling and shoving a lot of crappy coins down Indians' throats, which should not be the case. Because Brian Armstrong, jitna bhi ab bolo US में Bitcoin he keeps doing. Abhi off late he's been doing it. Before that he was all crypto nonsense. So it'll come back to bite Indians in the behind.
People need to be obtaining their Bitcoin via non-KYC method.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's so important. It's super important that they do. Even if Coinbase launches, we're not sure if they're going to allow withdrawals,
Oh yeah, for sure. That is true.
right? and what their withdrawal fees is going to be, and the amount of compliance documents that they're going to demand for KYC and AML measures or whatever. I really think, like, even if Coinbase comes, we should be looking to make sure that more people. What's Abhay asking?
What's worse than Indian custodians custodying Bitcoin for plebs? Foreign custodians doing it. Absolutely true. This is one thing I would advise against using Coinbase. Okay, at the end of the day, you won't be, troubled. You won't have to go to US to file your complaints in case something blows up. You just say, I mean, whatever's happening with Wazirex is utter BS, dude. Because you see, people are here, they want their money here, but they have to knock on Singapore courts' doors to get their money, and that is just unfair. So something like that should not happen with the current whatever crypto scenario in India. But yeah, there are
Yeah,
exchanges there's only one exchange that I know that allows Bitcoin withdrawals, and which is Bitcoin only. I mean, if you do a little digging, you will get to know, and if you're in the circles, you'll get to know. We'll not name them because we're not advocating for any exchange over here. Sab log apna apna kaam kare. But at the end of the day, there's
that's
only one Bitcoin only exchange.
yeah. This is a good idea, dude. This is a good idea. Never mention any name whatsoever.
Right.
Always speak about every exchange in the in the most negative way possible, so that when they actually blow up, you can be like, I didn't mention anything.
Yeah. It's very necessary, right? Because the history is full of blow-offs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
But yeah,
one more.
I
Bataiye.
really, like, again, I can't like stress this enough. Make sure, like, if you're listening to this, anyone at all, make sure that you get your Bitcoin in a non KYC manner, P2P, somehow from someone. I don't think, like, earn it or earn it directly by doing something, or make sure that you get it directly to your self custodial wallets, whether it's Lightning or whether it's on chain. Non KYC Bitcoin is the way to go. That's the true white Bitcoin. Black Bitcoin is whatever's there on exchange.
Hmm. Yeah, we need to change this definition, right?
Yeah. Whatever's on exchanges is like tainted Bitcoin.
Like,
It's
yeah.
not good. White
Mm.
Bitcoin is pure KYC, directly obtained from miners who are not KYC. That's the pure, proper white Bitcoin.
Yeah. So less Bitcoin are there in KYC, the more freedom the world will have, right?
Yes, sir.
Mm,
Absolutely.
mm, mm.
Cool.
Cool.
Speaking of
Say, what
Coinbase
is this?
and the attacks, so there's already been a phishing attack. This is in US, and this can happen to most of the people in India because they blindly believe whatever an official email says. So this is a AI generated message which was sent out to some customer, and they had asked for the seed phrase. So and a person actually gave it to them. So ऐसा हो सकता है. So please be
Terence
very
is
careful.
being sarcastic here, no?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, this needs to be very highlighted. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. All of this is sarcasm. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. So please be aware with any exchange, not just Coinbase. All the exchanges will not send you emails like this, where they're disclosing your secret key, or they're asking you for your secret key. So please be aware of those. And the best thing which happened last week was a solo miner, which was a $150, $300 ke beech mein you get a bit axe, which you are seeing here. You can get this for that much, and one person managed to mine 3.17 Bitcoin for the block number 887212, and the overall क्या बोलते हैं hash rate was 480 gigahash, and compared to the exahash which is going on currently, I think it's 900 exahash. तो उस हिसाब से this is a massive win for that solo miner, and the odds of this happening is 1 in 2 million, or
Very
even
rare.
worse. Yeah.
Very rare, no?
So that is something which people need to be aware of in terms of mining as well. Okay, anyone can mine. You don't have to do it only for the rewards per se. If you join chote mote mining pools, you can earn sats almost daily.
I think we can make a recommendation here. You cannot. What's his name?
Hmm?
Um, oh goodness, I forget. I think it's a very good recommendation to give people. There's actually someone who is doing a lot of content about solo mining.
Decentralized something mind, right? Decentralized mind.
No, Econo something.
Okay.
Kobe?
Econo Alchemist.
Oh, okay. There's another guy called
Wh-
Kobe who does solo mining.
Yeah, I
What's
think
it?
we can
What's this? What's the name?
burn the bridge. His Twitter handle.
Burn,
Hmm.
burn the bridge.
Heard of him?
Nice.
Yes.
He has a. It's a black and white PFP.
Okay. This right?
Yeah, yeah,
These.
Oh yeah, Econo Alchemist. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
I think he
Econo
writes a
Alchemist.
lot of mining guides for people who are interested in getting into solo mining.
Nice.
The reason that I mention, and that I'm sure both all of us over here advocate for mining as well, whether it be in any capacity, is because of the hash rate index. If you look at it, uh, India is nowhere on the map. It's less than 0.2% if you look at it, when it comes to the hash rate. आप अगर भूटान का देखोगे, then you have massive numbers. All of their money that they've made, and now they're planning to construct a new airport as well with the mining proceeds, and it's helping them in their tourism, it's helping them pay off their government employees. It's all because of mining. And India has a lot of natural resources which can be put to good use in terms of mining, and that can help the government in doing a lot of क्या बोलते हैं, revenue optimization activities, or however they want to use those, or they just
So
store it in their reserves.
I
That's the
think a
ultimate.
reason why we don't see India on this map is because I really think a lot of people are mining,
Mhm.
but they do it through a VPN, sorry. So you
Mhm.
can't really figure out if the hash rate is actually coming from India or somewhere else. I think these are
Mhm.
jurisdictions where mining is being more or less uh, allowed. Whereas in India, they
Mhm.
have to do it underground, and they can't reveal themselves to the authorities. They don't necessarily go and
Mhm.
trumpet about the fact that they're mining. I think a lot of
Mhm.
people are doing it. I just think that it's not visible, and that's
Mhm.
good.
Yeah, in a way,
So,
it's good. That is true.
India may have 510 exahash or no? It's too much. Out of 800, 900, 1
Uh,
exahash is enough.
I don't know, dude. It's hard to predict everything. Hard to
I
guess that
have
way.
no
Do you have any
idea.
idea? No idea.
Jessica.
Okay.
No idea.
I can't predict.
So,
But it's way more than 0.2% that
on a
Okay.
the
global scale, you
0.2%.
think so?
Yeah, I think it should be way more than 0.2%. I think people just I'm
Hmm.
not like advocating for people to come online or anything. I think they should stay invisible. I think they
Mhm.
should stay underground. I think more and more people should be doing it without anybody knowing in India. If 1
Mhm.
billion people in India do solo mining and none of that
Mhm.
is visible and we don't show up on the map or anything or any official stats, I would be
Mhm.
for that.
Hmm.
Nice.
But
Nice,
again,
nice.
you will route, or you will be running it on your American or Chinese pools, right? And that is, again, not beneficial to the entire
So what if
decentralized.
we do it with ocean? So where does it show? What will be the geography if we do it using ocean datum or
Yeah. उस हिसाब से I think it'll
so वो
be.
कहाँ दिखाएगा? So what will be the like geographical location like
No, that again
with
depends on.
VPN or something?
So again, you can use VPN over there, and you can
Mhm.
mine through that. But there
Mhm.
also, everything mining is being done locally, and you're just using that pool as the at the end of the day, that pool is a software, and people are connecting to it from across the world. So there's no location specific issue over there. India will
And
mine.
there are a lot of payouts that are happening through Lightning as well.
Yeah, agreed. Abhay, India will mine Bitcoin at 0.78 block reward. Yeah, that was how many years from now? 10 years from now, I guess. Aram se, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
2036.
32.
So much
After 32
happening in the
having.
mining space. Solo mining has been super bullish. Brains is testing a new mining chip as well.
Right.
Ocean's hash rate continue to go up, and the number of blocks that they're finding is also going up. Solo miners, I think once every 2 or 3, 4 months or something, a new BitAx is finding a block. I
Till
don't
now,
think.
I think
I mean,
there's been 2 blocks
more.
found by BitAx so far.
Only 2.
Yeah.
Or am I mistaking it for a solo pool? I think.
Yes, maybe yes. Solo pool has been finding block every 2-3 weeks, maybe. CK pool, solo CK pool, something like that.
Oh, so this is a BitAx without pooling in the.
Yep. That's why, I mean, the odds are humongous.
Yeah, I think the biggest solo pool is something called Solo CK, right?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
CK pool, I guess.
Hmm.
So, we did speak
Yeah.
about the.
Again, I think we should be talking more about BitAx, dude. I think BitAx is underrated. So much innovation that they're doing.
Remember, I think Bhavik and I had this conversation. Okay, every car needs to have a mining device in it. And when you're starting,
I'm up for it. Yeah.
and when you're going on a road trip or anything, you just fine. You just let it run. And if it finds, it finds. Otherwise, it's contributing to the hash rate anyway.
Right.
Any device. It could be your regular TV, fridge, computer. If it's running, it needs to mine.
Nice, yeah. So within few years, like if something like if these chips become very small, like so we can run it in our like laptop, or phone, like any mobile company producer, like they can also manufacture, they can also embed this thing. BTX is very
How
small.
much is a BitAx in Indian rates right now?
25,000.
Oh, okay. That's expensive.
If you have an old ASIC machine, you can custom and refurbish it and make several BitAxes. So it does the same
Wow.
thing.
Oh
How much
my
does
God.
it? How much will
Because
it
the
cost?
entire. Go on, Bhavik. How much?
How much will it cost? Like,
I mean,
ASIC, this S19 will have how many chips? 100 chips or
yeah,
20,
100
30?
के ऊपर आराम से होंगे.
So,
Above 100.
so one is chip. So if we take out the chip and then we need some board, na motherboard or EP.
Yeah. So again, it's a technical process. ऐसे नहीं है everyone will be able to do it. But if you want to
But
make a
people are
business
doing it, na? People are doing it at their home, in
this
their home, using some like building
this
in small lab.
Scott जो है, he does the same thing. He has a lot of S19 or the several new models, and he breaks them apart and rebuilds it, and every chip is put into a BitAx, and he sells them for $150 or $300.
Nice.
It's so
So,
cool that the entire architecture is open source, so anyone can do it.
did you see the Brains has done this? Like they recently open sourced the mining chip itself. So it's a Bitcoin mining chip. It's not a Brains mining chip anymore. And I think we
Nice.
covered this last week. So that's something which is.
That was amazing. मुझे एक question है. So these guys are BitX जिसने open source किया. They are taking chip from Bitmain, ना? So उसमें what is the scenario of open source? Like can we देखा Bitmain is allowing it, or वो जो chip है वही open source है पहले से?
Bitmain को allow करना नहीं होता. It's hardware, right? At the end of the day, and you're plugging that to another pool. That pool can be anything.
Okay. So
उसका
उसमें कुछ
उस
वो
hardware का
patent.
कुछ काम. Its basic function is to keep hashing.
Okay.
That's its only job.
Okay.
It could be from Bitmain. I mean, for all you know, it doesn't
So
matter
like
अगर कहाँ से आता है. China
I
से
think Bitmain produced it, right? So Bitmain. So we can also do it using any Intel chip, like Intel को उठाया and हमने उसको open source कर
नहीं
दिया,
नहीं
like
नहीं
ऐसा.
नहीं 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 those chips are specific to this purpose
Okay.
and that heavy manufacturing वहां से होती है Bitmain से
नहीं
and
नहीं
in
नहीं
India
पूछ
में
रहा
there
हूँ
is
मैं.
some company called Auradine so ये
हाँ.
लोग भी करते हैं
No, I
तो
mean,
ये
it's just that you can do it with other chips as well. It's just that they won't be as good as what ASICs are
नहीं
doing.
that's not my question is कि मैं पूछ रहा हूँ like Bitmain is producing those hardware, right? So don't they have any patent on it? Like anyone can use it?
yeah
Hmm.
I don't know if they have a patent or anything.
you can
Down with
release
all the
that.
patents.
Yeah, definitely.
Brains का भी अगर देख लोगे तो you can take
Hmm.
their mining chip if आपको ऐसा लगता है कि you know people are
Mhm.
going to fall in trouble if Bitmain catches them.
Mhm.
This is again it's grassroots movement, right? So if a
Right.
person in their basement is
Yeah, something happened with your audio. वो change हो गया, I guess. Shift हुआ है.
breaking down,
Audio source.
oh yeah, अब ठीक है.
Yes, I think.
Okay, cool. Last but not the least, we'll just cover this and then we can end it for today. Is BitPlebs Summit happening in Goa on Sunday, which is March 30th. So it's a gathering of developers, creators, entrepreneurs, community leaders, educators, hodlers, and everyone in the Bitcoin space in India who wants to be a part of the know-how and what's happening. And this is a grassroots initiative again. It's headed by Plebs Together, Strong, and Bitshala. So these organizations, both of them, are working tirelessly to educate people on ground and to foster the innovation and growth of Bitcoin in India. Ismay, if you go to the website, you can see what's happening, when is it happening. It's basically 2 days, 29th and 30th. So yeah, we would
Nice.
definitely urge you or anyone who wants to go to Goa around March 30th to go and visit them and to see what's happening just for the kicks and just for knowing what's happening in the Bitcoin space. You don't have to be a Bitcoiner to go there.
Hmm.
Even if you're
Although
curious
you
and
might become a Bitcoiner by going there.
yeah, that is true. अभय का कहना है intellectual property is a myth. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
Someone's
And both Bitshala and Plebs Together Strong are pretty cool initiatives. I think they're doing a lot of good work. There are a lot of cool people in those initiatives. And Plebs Together Strong is, I mean, but both of them are doing it in like different ways, right? Bitshala is mainly focused on developer education, whereas Plebs Together Strong is more broad in
ground.
reaching out to
Hmm.
ordinary folks about Bitcoin. I think they're taking a different approach, but they're doing a lot of good work. They're taking the initiative. Uh, they are coming up with a lot of different ways to educate people about Bitcoin and enable Bitcoin adoption in India when, like,
Yeah.
things seem quite slow. I think,
Yeah.
people can really find a lot of value in meeting folks who are behind those initiatives and who are involved with them. Definitely,
Right.
it's a free event, right? I don't think
Yeah,
it's
Free.
it is a
okay.
free event.
Hmm.
Nice. Yeah, I think it's a great event to check out. Unfortunately, I can't be there. I have some other commitments to look into. But Nihal, Bhavik, are you guys gonna be going?
No, I also won't be able to make it.
Neither will I
I want to
because
go.
it's towards the end of the month and that's when Eid
Hmm.
is. So I think
Oh,
I won't be able to make it. I did speak
Maybe.
to the organizers about it. So
Hmm.
they had already made their plans and reservations and that's why it wasn't flexible to move those dates. Like cool, ठीक है. Because a lot of Bitcoiners couldn't attend for their various reasons because it was on this specific date. But anyways, I mean, whoever can make it, we definitely encourage you to. And from there, obviously, we are always available. And if anyone wants to catch up in Bangalore or Tirupur or Mysore. We are always here. And yeah, that's. आप कुछ बोल रहे थे भाभी? Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I actually think if someone from Tirupur is watching this, and they
I don't know. You should probably circulate this video to your inner circle over there. I was like, okay,
How do
cool.
you know? Like, why? Why did you say that? Like,
no, I mean, I mean, a stranger, not like, I share this with like people in my circles, sure. But if someone like if some stranger from Tirupur is watching this and he happens to be a Bitcoiner already, that'd be really
nice.
cool.
What are the odds of that happening?
Maybe
It'll
you
be
guys
definitely.
are already. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you guys are already micro celebrities.
Yeah,
Different
sure.
people. Huh? Who knows?
What a joke. Cool. That's it for this week. अगली बार. Then we'll
Beginning से कर सकते हैं. We'll start from the beginning.
Yeah.
This discussion.
Chalo. See you guys. Thank you. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Abhay especially for all your suggestions. And
Yeah, man.
Rahul
Great
came
having
for
you in the
a-
chat. And Rahul as well.
Chaliye.
Okay, thank
See
you guys. Thank
Alright.
you, Sachin. Thank you, Nihal. We'll meet later. Yeah.
Number one thing you can do is educate the world on Bitcoin and let people know they need to figure out Bitcoin. And every one of you does make a difference, because I would never get those meetings if it wasn't like someone that went and said, you got to pay attention. And my last point to you, you do not sell your Bitcoin. Thank you. Thank you.